Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, also known as the Lashawan Kodash, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, Bahashem, meaning in the name, Yahweh Shai, meaning He is our salvation, to the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans here in the Western Hemisphere, and to the rest scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth who look like the other nations, but through the patrilineal lineage go back to the Hebrew Israelites. All right. Now, what we have here is a article on one of the first things, if not the first thing, that our soon-to-be President-elect Donald J. Trump, Mr.911, a.k.a. Nero, is going to enact on his first day in office. Okay? Mr. Trump, Mr. 911, because when you add up 45, which was his first term, which is 4 and 5 is 9, and when you add up his second term, which is 47, 4 and 7 is 11, you get 911. All right? And he's going to bring it. All right? A.k.a. Nero. Because why? Nero burned down, the holy city, and he blamed it on he burned down Rome and blamed it on who? The Christians, okay? You so-called Israelites. And Trump is gonna blame everything, man. All right? And he's coming with that same spirit as Nero, man. Reincarnated, all right? And he's coming with that great wrath, man. And he's going to enact on his first day in office a mass deportation using what? The national emergency military, okay? Now, this is the article from ABC News, and it reads, Trump, 9/11, Nero, confirms plan to declare national emergency. 911, okay? Use military for mass deportations, all right? And you can bet and believe that a vast majority of those deportations is going to be of our brothers of the Northern Kingdom, all right? You so-called Latinos, all right? Now, he's going to deport you because why? Because he has had a perpetual hatred, and we're going to get into that, all right? Esau Edom, the so-called white man, has had a perpetual hatred towards our people since the beginning. And we're going to get into that as well, all right? Because sure, he's going to probably, gather up a few other nations like the Moabites, the so-called Chinese, the Hamites, the so-called Africans. But by and large, he's looking to what? Come down and take you so-called Latinos, all right? And see, you can't deny that you're not the children of Israel because you're under these curses too, man. All right? You're going to come and see, man, that this man has a perpetual hatred towards all of us, all right? You so-called Latinos who think you're doing right by this man, guess what? He's going to stab you right there where you stand in your back, all right? And it's going to be evident. But by that time, it's going to be too late. You see, you 2/3 Jakes, man. You don't understand. This devil is the most subtle beast of the field, all right? He's taking care of one problem while addressing another, okay? Meanwhile, he got these mass deportations getting ready to take place, and he's steady what? Promoting that CBDC, okay? With his new Dodge, Department of Government Efficiency, which Elon Musk and this other guy is part of, all right? Which they're going to promote that CBDC, which is going to eventually lead to what? That micro CHIP, all right? And if you don't have that, guess what? Y'all 2/3 Jakes is going to get what? Deported and carted off into these detention centers, all right? So, this is 9/11, a.k.a. Nero, okay? So back to the article, it says, Trump confirms plan to declare national emergency. Use military for mass deportation. And underlined it says, and under that it says, Trump, border czar, said he's going to Mar-a-Lago to discuss the plan. And trust and believe, man, they coming to swoop up a lot of you Jakes, man. whether you came here legally or illegally. Okay, they can sort that out in the detention centers, man, before they do whatever it is that they're going to do, whether they ship you over to where you come from or whether they offer you a more feasible, option as what? To get this new tracking device, all right? So as you see Nero 911 Trump smiling, it says Trump confirms plan to declare national emergency. Use military for mass deportations. Leon Rodriguez, former director of U.S. citizenship. And you think, that's the thing with our people, man. They think because they are in bed with this beast system that the beast won't turn on them. Well, they're going to be sadly mistaken when it all comes to, a crescendo or to a tipping point that what? The beast is going to turn on them, okay? These Edomites are going to turn on them, man, okay? So it goes on to read, President-elect Donald Trump on Monday confirmed he would declare a national emergency to carry out his campaign promise of mass deportations of migrants living in the U.S. without legal permission. And this is what he ran his campaign on, man. And these Edomites, this is what they are coming to expect, man. Okay, you got the so-called Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, you see, that he made mockery of, that they're eating the cats and dogs. Then you got the Venezuelans, you see, how he's targeting you so-called Latinos and blacks, Native Americans, man. And none of his campaign did he bring up anything with the Ukrainians and the Palestinians and, those that came over here, whether it was, legally or under the guidelines of Biden administration, bringing them over here because they had to, I forgot how long ago that was, but maybe 2 or 3 years ago, that they had to leave that land, Afghanistan, and they brought them over here by the busloads, man. Okay? And I can remember you had some of those people hanging off the airplanes trying to come over here. Okay? But you see, it ain't about them. It's about you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. This is who they're really after. This is their intended targets, okay? Because they know we are the children of Israel. All right? They can care less about some damn Moabite or, Hamite or, Elamite. They worry about us Israelites. So it says President-elect Donald Trump on Monday confirmed he would declare a national emergency to carry out his campaign promise of mass deportations of migrants living in the U.S. without legal permission. Right? So he's coming to get y'all, man. He's coming to get y'all, and he's going to use, you as fodder to start this race war, because he knows there's going to be a lot of oppositions met when he does this. Okay? But he could care less, man, because it's all part of the agenda. All right? So let's see if there's any more. It says on day one, it says Trump pledged to get started on mass deportations as soon as he entered office. So he's with it, man. He's with the shits, as they say. All right? On day one, he says, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history to get the criminals out. But yet they don't want to take themselves out and leave the country. And it's all good. We understand. He said during a rally at Madison Square Garden in the closing days of the presidential race, I will rescue every city and town, okay, that has been invaded and conquered. Look at the words he's using, invaded and conquered, all right? This is how he's selling his campaign, all right? They're going to get back to the basics, back to making America great by what? Taking out the towns and what? Cities of every town and city that was invaded and conquered. By what? You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. It says, and bloodthirsty criminals in jail. Let's read that again so we can get the full context. He says, I will rescue every city and town that has been invaded and conquered. And we will put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail, then kick them the hell out of our country as fast as possible. All right? That's what he said. Okay? So let's get that perpetual hatred. All right? Let's open up. And we probably kick off in Genesis. So this is back in the book of Genesis where it all started, man. Genesis is the beginning. This is Genesis 25 and 21. And it reads, and Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife because she was barren, and Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. Right, so Isaac went on the behalf of Rebekah and entreated and, spoke and talked to Yahweh, and Yahweh, he was entreated. Okay, he said okay. And it says 22, and the children struggle. Let's go back to 21. It says, and Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife because she was barren, and Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. So Yahweh opened up Rebekah's womb so that what? She could conceive. All right. Verse 22, and the children struggled together within her. So the two children that were in her womb, which we're going to come to realize was who? Jacob and Esau. They were struggling, and you can bet Jacob was putting hands on Esau all up in Rebekah's womb, man. Okay, showing you that this hatred between Jacob and Esau goes back to even in the womb, man. We've been fucking putting our hand, we've been kicking their ass in the womb, man. You see? So don't think nothing has changed in these latter days, man. Okay? You 2/3 are gonna come to realize, man, they still hold that perpetual hatred towards you. All right? It's just that they're doing a good job in concealing it. All right, but these lower tier Edomites, they gonna really get loose, man. They gonna really get loose on you 2/3 Jakes. Okay, just wait and see. All right, but don't worry, Jake gonna get his too, man. Okay, Jake gonna get his too. But ultimately, the elect are gonna be the ones that what? Triumph over this beast system. 22, Genesis 25 and 22, it says, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh. So she wanted to know, why are these two children struggling inside of my womb? Let's see what Yahweh said. And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. Okay? So these 2 nations, which are today known as the Edomites, the so-called white people, and the Israelites, the so-called black people, which consist of what? The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right? They stemmed or came from what? Our forefather Jacob, okay? Who was putting hands on our uncle Esau in the womb, man. Okay? It says, and Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. Right? So, although we are connected, we are separate. Because why? As you come to realize and read in this book, Genesis, Esau is a carnal man, whereas Jacob is spiritual, man. That's why Esau gave his blessing, over to Jacob. Because why? He was carnal. He had no faith. He lacks faith. He doesn't have faith. Because why? He's not a spiritual man. Okay? And that's why he sold his birthright. And that's why he's still upset to this day. All right? And that's why Trump can't wait, man. Okay, that perpetual hatred is still seething inside these Edomites, man. They want their birthright back. That's why they're trying to go to the moon. That's why they're trying to go to the bottom of the ocean, man. Because it says, if thou can search out the heavens or the depths of the sea, then will I get rid of my seed Israel. And Esau Edom is trying his best to do so, just so he can, what? Have Yahweh, honor his word and get rid of the Israelites. But we know that ain't happening, man. We know that it's not going to happen, but that doesn't mean that Esau Edom, the sick individual that he isn't going to try not to do so. All right. Here it is. You had Elon Musk just launch another rocket into space, man, while Trump and the rest of his crew was watching. Okay. These Edomites, they sick, man. They're not all the way there. So it says, verse 23, Genesis 25 and 23, and it says, and Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. You see? So we were separated, okay? We are not like them, okay? They are cardinal by nature, okay? And we are spiritual. We two different people, man. It says, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, which is you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. That's why I believe that Jacob was putting them things on Esau up in Rebekah's womb, okay? Jacob was putting them hands on Esau, man. And the one people should be stronger than the other, which is the Israelites should be stronger than the Edomites in every way, shape, and form, man. Not just physically, but we mentally stronger than them too, man. And we already know they don't have any spiritual aspects, so they're definitely, we're not even going to talk about the spiritual side. So it says, in the elder, who is who? Esau, shall serve the younger, which is who? Jacob, okay? And this is what they're trying to avoid. They're trying to avoid going into slavery, man. Because pursuant to 2 Ezra 6 and 9, it says what? Esau is the end of this world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right. So they know their time is running out, man. And they're trying to do everything possible to prolong prophecy, but they can't. It says, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, they were twins in her womb. Right. We were what? Not identical twins, but paternal twins, okay? We did not look alike, all right? There's 2 different types of twins. You can have identical twins, which look exactly alike, and then I believe the other term is paternal twins, which they don't look alike, okay? They were just born at the same time, all right? It says 25, and the first came out red. This is Esau, Edom, today known as the Edomites. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, right? Because back then in those ancient days, man, that hairy garment, they would use red dye to dye it, okay? And this individual, they liken it to that hairy garment. Okay, he was transparent like red. You could see his blood vessels. You could see everything from his hair to his eyes. Everything was translucent, man. Okay, this was an anomaly. All right. It says, and they call his name Esau, right? Which you're going to come to find out that later down the line, he's the progenitor of the Edomites, the so-called white people today, man. Which Donald J. Trump stems from, okay? Which is why he has that perpetual hatred towards our brothers, particularly the Northern Kingdom, okay? Especially Issachar, all right? So he wants to deport the so-called illegal migrants back to where? Their homeland, okay? So it says, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they call his name Esau. And after that came his brother, out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. Right, so we were ready to get it. We were beating his ass, and we were ready to, hey, where you going at, little I ain't through with you. You see? We were still putting hands on him as Esau was coming out. Here you got Jacob's hand grabbing hold to Esau's heel, man. Signifying that what? Jacob is going to pull down this man's kingdom, man. Yahweh shot. Okay, when he comes back, he's taking this man's power, man. He's going to pull this man out of power, which then 2nd Ezra 6:9 will be fulfilled. All right, so it says, verse 26, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she buried them. Right, so Isaac was 60 years old when Rebekah buried them, man. And if I'm not mistaken, Jacob means to supplant. Yeah, Jacob, heel holder or supplanter. Right, so we supplanted, man. We took this man birthright, and it was all according to prophecy, which you can read in Romans the 9th chapter. Okay, this is all according to the will of the Heavenly Father. All right, so that His will may be, played out here on earth, man. We supplanted him. Okay, and that's why Esau, Edom, to this day, he hates us, man. He hates us, with a perpetual hatred, man, that's never going to end, all right? And this is why he's getting ready to come down with that great wrath, man, because he understands his time is up, okay? Matter of fact, let's go there. This is Ezekiel 35. And verse 1, Ezekiel 35 and verse 1, it says, moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. Right, because Mount Seir is where the Edomites were inhabiting. That was that region, the mountain Seir, the Carcass Mountain. That's where they were inhabiting. It says, verse 3, and say unto it, thus saith the Lord Almighty, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. What does that sound like? Jacob reaching and grabbing onto Esau's heel, man. Hey, we are tied together through prophecy, man. That's why Esau and Jacob, they're tied together through prophecy, man. They're the two main characters in the Bible, okay? All the other nations are just like extras, man. But Esau and Jacob, we are the two main characters, man. Okay? and we've been putting hands on this Edomite since our inception back in the womb, man. And we giving them hell in the spirit today, man. Revealing who he is, telling him his judgment, where he's going, how he's gonna get there, and they can't do nothing but take it. And now they get ready to come down with great wrath, man, because the extras, the other nations, are all seeing that this man is nothing but a bunch of lies, man. Okay, he covered the faces of the judges thereof. Everything he does is in deception, man. So let's read that again. Ezekiel 35 and 3. And say unto it, thus saith the Lord Almighty, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee. Jacob stretching out his hand to pull down Esau's heel. How is Yahweh going to stretch out his hand when he sent his only begotten son, Yahweh? Okay? And I will make thee most desolate. Right. He's going to make you bare, man. He's going to show you exactly who you are. Okay? He's going to strip you from all your pride, your haughtiness. He's going to make you desolate and bare. And you seen it. Okay? This man, he can't lie anymore. The truth is out. Exposing who he is, man. For the longest he can hide behind Christianity and God so loved the world and everything else, man. And in his last ditch, and in his last effort, his last ditch effort, he's trying to, hold on to that whole Grecian and Greeks, neither Greek nor Jew. You see, this man is trying to hold on to whatever little bit of, hope he think he got. But hey, through the truth, we tearing down those strongholds, man, and exposing this devil. Okay? Verse 4, Ezekiel 35:4, it says, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh. Right. So he's allowing this man pride to reach levels and heights that's never been seen before. To what? Only to make them desolate. And America's going to be that memorial for just that occasion. You're going to see how a city that was propped up and looked at across the board as that beacon of light is going to be destroyed in 1 hour. Okay? Verse 5, here it is. Ezekiel 35:5, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Let's go into that word perpetual. That's the Greek word. I mean, the
Strong's
Hebrew word.
H5769. Olam. Olam.
That's the Hebrew word 5769, olam. And it says long duration, antiquity, futurity, forever, ever, everlasting, evermore, perpetual, old, ancient. So you get the gist of it. He's had a perpetual hatred, an everlasting hatred. Okay? So what make you think if they're having an everlasting hatred that all of a sudden they're going to let up in these last days? No, man. They're only going to get ready to show their horns even more. What does it say in Revelation 13:11? He spoke as a lamb. He had 2 horns as a lamb, but he spoke as a dragon. Okay? He's gonna show them horns, man, them draconian laws, man. He's showing it. Let's go there. Okay, because he's ready to implement this on day 1. Revelation 13:11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. You see? Which speaks on what? America's that beast, okay? It's Rome revived. It says, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, right? Which go into his democracy, the Republicans and the Democrats, just like ancient Rome had 2 political parties. And it says, and he spake as a dragon, right? So he came out for, with the lamb, everything is all good and fine and dandy. We gonna deport the illegal immigrants back. But he spoke as what? A dragon. But war was in his heart. All right? He's going to enact martial law, man. Just when you think it's safe to come out, here come this dragon. Here come the big bad boogeyman. 9/11, Nero, Trump, gonna switch up on you, man. You see? Sure, it's gonna be some individuals that, get swooped up through the midst of this that could be legal, but until they can sort things out, they're gonna have to be what? Treated like an illegal, which is gonna spark controversy. Okay? So it says, Revelation 13:11, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb. And he spake as a dragon. When you go into that word dragon, the Greek word is dracon, which he's going to put draconian measurements because trust and believe, the spirit, the Yahweh's going to put the spirit on the people to come in an uproar, man. All right? Every city that was what? It said invaded and conquer. They're going to send the military in. And they're going to start, we don't know. They're going to be probably going from door to door, checking and seeing who got the proper credentials and who don't. Okay? And the people could have an uproar about this, man. Okay? invaded their constitutional rights or whatever. All right. So we gonna see how things play out with Mr. 911 Nero Donald J. Trump, man. Okay. Going back to Ezekiel 35 in verse, where were we at? 4. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, a everlasting. It ain't going away. It's going to be all the way into the end. And has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity. Right? You think these military people ain't coming in armed? No, they coming in armed, man. And under that DOD 5240-1, they can engage the people with lethal force now. Okay? Everything is already put on books, man. The police and the military can now engage the people with lethal force. Okay? It says what? Thou hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity. Right, here it is that, you got some of our northern brothers and sisters just trying to flee and come into this country for refuge, okay? But they're going to be met with resistance, man, and eventually they're going to be met with that sword, which is what? The modern day firearm, okay? It's going to be a lot of bloodshedding in this time, man. Mishaps and misups, and they got it all on books that they can use lethal force, man. So we praying that, hey, this move that he makes start and get things off right, in the form of prophecy being fulfilled, man. That what? Insurrection, sedition among men, Jacob's trouble is going to really be popping off, man. It says what? In the time that their iniquity had ended. Right, here it is. We in the last days that, we telling our people to repent. And Esau, he don't give a damn, man. He got that perpetual hatred, man. You could care less if we trying to, cry out loud and show our people their transgression, man. He don't want our people to repent. That's why he's getting ready to come down with that great wrath, man. Could you imagine if those migrants that they call illegal immigrants was able to receive the word and start repenting? Man, you think the chariots showing up now, man, they would cover the whole sky. Esau is shaking in his damn boots, man. Shaking. He got to move, man. He got to make his move. He don't got all the time in the world, man. He knows it. All right? He knows he has but a short time. Revelation 12:12. So he got to come down with that great wrath. All right? And he's going to use that sword, that blessing, okay, that Isaac gave him. Salakia, Isaac gave him. Because Isaac gave Jacob and Esau a blessing, okay? And Esau's blessing was that sword. So he's going to get ready to get busy with it, man. So think it's all a game. Think you're safe because you got your... If you thinking you're safe because you were born here on American soil and you got your license and your ID and whatever else, we gonna see. Okay, we're going to see exactly how it happens and wherever it plays out. If you in one of those cities or towns that has been invaded and conquered, as they said, by these illegal immigrants, these bloodthirsty migrants, all right? We gonna see, man. We gonna see if your so-called Jesus is gonna come to your rescue in that day. All right, when he allowed the sword to get busy. Psalm 17:13 says what? Let's go there. It says, arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him. Not God, not Jesus, Yahweh. Disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. So a lot of you 2/3 that's faking out there, man, we gonna see. you may get caught up with this. Okay? You may get caught up with this. You don't know how the Most High is gonna move and put spirits on individuals to do things according to his will, man. You may buck up against the authority just so you can get mowed down. And that could be the spirit of vengeance being put on you so you can get judged by what? The sword. All right? which is what? The blessing of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And like I said, he got directives on order under 5240-1 that he can engage the people with lethal force. All right? So back to Ezekiel 35, and we get one more after this. It says, verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity and the time that their iniquity had an end. Right, because here it is, we in the last days, man. You know, and the Most High is revealing himself and showing, and Esau's still trying to mow down, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, man. And he's going to continue all the way up until the time of his dethroning. All right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. Because whether you want to realize it or acknowledge it, you so-called Latinos, man, you are Israelites, okay? You are Israelites and you fit these curses, man. Deuteronomy 28. And let's go down to verse 29. Deuteronomy 28 and 49, it says, Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Right, and when the northern kingdom came over here, man, who was that nation? Okay, it was the so-called Edomites, all right, spearheaded by Christopher Columbus, man. And there's no difference today, man. You got Nero, a.k.a. Trump, Mr.911, he's getting ready to come down swift as an eagle and bring this military using emergency, what does it say? Emergency act, with the military to come what? To come take you so-called Latinos and Native Americans and blacks, what? And take you back and put you into jail and then deport you, okay? So keep believing and thinking you not an Israelite until these curses hit you and you see. And Esau knows that, and that's what he fears. More of our people awakening to who they are. That's why they getting ready to come down with that great wrath. So let's read that again. Deuteronomy 28 and 49, it says, Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. Right, speaking of them Edomites, man. It says, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Right, the natives here to this land didn't understand, the language that these Edomites were coming in, man. You see? Just like today, man. When you see Issachar get pulled over, man, he don't understand that cop that's speaking to him. And that's why that perpetual hatred is still here today. Because what does that cop say, man? Speak English. Speaking of that Edomite cop, speak English. You come to my country and you don't speak English. And that's a sentiment to all the Edomites, man. Here it is. They think that this is their country. And they saying, how dare you come to our country and don't speak our language? And this is what gets them upset, man. This is why they like a guy like Trump, man. That's making these type of promises, man. All right, they want you speaking English. They want you worshiping their white Jesus. They want you under their, authority, man. Make America great again. That's what it means for them. Okay, back when the people were under that Christianity spell that they believe God so loved the world, that Jesus so loved the world, that God gave his only begotten son Jesus, that you need to speak our language, Never mind your language, speak our language, which is the language of the oppressors. And what else? They want to go back to, back when they were flourishing, okay? But the Most High has something totally different planned for their ass, man. All right? So, hey, what a beautiful time to be alive, man. To be part and see these prophecies come to pass, okay? So let's finish up and close out with 1 Peter 5 and 8. And it reads 1 Peter 5 and verse 8. Be sober. Be vigilant. All right? If you're not reading and studying and measuring the time diligently, you're going to find yourself caught up in this stuff that's getting ready to take place, man. It says why? Because your adversary, the devil, the so-called white man, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour, right? He wants you out there naked and afraid and not knowing what's going on, man. Okay? That's why he's coming down with that great wrath, because he fears and he sees our people wakening up, and not just that, repenting. He's seeing the elect. Okay? And this is giving them great cause of concern, man. That's why day one, Trump is coming with shits, man. Mass deportation. And they're not coming friendly. Okay, they coming with the military. Okay? Under the guidelines of these criminals and bloodthirsty invaders and conquerors that come into cities and towns, they're going to use that military, man. Oops, I thought he had something he was reaching for. Popped him. You already know how it goes, man. Look what they did to Jake. Look what they did to the Southern Kingdom, man. They would plant evidence on our people, and then what? Say they were justified in whatever action they saw fit. And for the longest, they got away with it, man. All right? How much more now? In their last days, they're going to use that same tactic, but even more. So be sober, be vigilant. Why? Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And with that being said, pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom. Peace.